At Forever Paws Animal Shelter, our mission is simple: place these valued animals in loving homes. Forever Paws Animal Shelter, giving animals a new leash on life.
Hey y'all, it's a shitpost weekend on Channel 2.
But yeah, speaking of acoustic guitars, this is something I saw as well. Godin guitars out of Canada. They're releasing a line of acoustic guitars, which is just confusing to me, and I just don't get why they're doing this. I don't understand what this is meant to accomplish for their company, because as many of you might know, Godin Guitars, the same company that owns Godin, owns Seagull Guitars, also owns Art and Lutherie Guitars, Simon & Patrick, I think also, and all of those, those other companies are all acoustic guitar companies. So why Godin would need acoustic guitars under its name as well, I'm just really confused about, because I always associated all these companies, I just kind of put them all together in my mind anyway, because to me, having dealt in those companies, that family of companies, they're all the same to me. So, you know, Seagull is like Godin's acoustic guitar line, essentially, to me. As a potential consumer, I suppose, of these guitars, it's confusing as to what they are planning on offering on Godin acoustics that they don't already offer in Seagull's, Simon & Patrick, or Art and Lutherie guitars. So maybe it's just they're looking for attention for their brand. You know, maybe they're just looking for some publicity, trying something different to get, you know, more eyeballs on the brand. I don't know. You know, just looking at it from a dealer standpoint, I just can't imagine what dealer would look at these acoustics and say to themselves, hey, this offers something that I didn't already have in the Seagull line. And to my customers to whom I've been pushing these Seagulls all this time and touting, you know, how great they are for the money and all this stuff, I can't imagine suddenly switching gears now and pushing Godin instead of Seagull to the same customer. Do you see what I mean? It doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense to me. It does look like some of these have some nice appointments, you know, good inlays and stuff like that on, you know, that maybe you don't get so much on some Seagulls, but they would have to be really nice and really high quality to get above the highest quality Seagull, because Seagulls do have some guitars that are in the, you know, low $1,000 range, like in the $1,200 sort of range to $1,500, I believe. So, you know, they've kind of got that market sort of already covered as well. So it would have to be a really high-end, high-market guitar to overcome the top end of the Seagull range. So I just don't get it. I don't get where they're coming from here. And not to rain on their parade or, you know, piss in their Wheaties here, but it just seems to me redundant. All right, so that'll conclude the news. All right, guys, in this segment, I thought I would share with you an email that I got the other day from a viewer of this channel. He wanted to send me a free guitar that he has. He says, since you and I last corresponded, I effed up my fretting hand to the point where I have trouble holding a pencil. So essentially, he can't play guitar, can't play piano, can't play anything right now, and I guess he doesn't think he's going to be able to in the future either. So what I wanted to do, Brian, instead of telling you, yeah, you know, send that guitar along, I'd love to have it, I would rather you maybe try something else, you know, because I hate for you to give away your guitar, and I'd hate for you to be deflated about not being able to play guitar at all. You know, maybe try doing something a little bit different with it. And what I was going to suggest is this. So yeah, Brian, instead of getting rid of your acoustic guitar, here's what I was going to suggest. I was going to suggest that you instead buy yourself a slide. And you know, there are a lot of different slides on the market. This is a cheap guitar, so I'm not worried about scratching it up, and it's mine too. So nobody yell at me here. But I just wanted to show you some of the slides that you can get, and you know, what this is going to do possibly is revolutionize the way that you look at the guitar, and it could possibly, I don't know, again, I don't know the extent of your injuries, but it's possible that playing with this approach, with a slide guitar approach, could get you back in the saddle again, so to speak. But here are some of the slides that are out there. Let's see, this one here is a Dunlop tone bar slide. Number 919. And as you can see, it has kind of a rounded tip on it. It's shaped kind of like a bullet. And that's one style of slide that you can find, and these tend to be a little more expensive, and they're also heavier. So for this style of slide, you'd also probably want to set up your action a little bit. And that's something that you could have done at a local music store. Here is another type of slide. This is another bar slide that you can buy. This one is a Stevens. I don't know if they still make this one or not. I think this one is a vintage one that I got on a trade. This one's actually a patent number one, and you can see somebody etched their name into it. I like this slide a lot for this kind of lap steel approach. You can get other ones as well, these that are kind of like bottle shaped. I don't like this one very much because it's got ridges in it, kind of like a bottle. This may have even started life as an actual bottle. I don't know. No, it didn't. It's just made to look like a bottle. But it's tapered, and it doesn't really lend itself very well to this kind of lay down type of slide work. And also it has these ridges in it, and you don't really want anything like that with those ridges, because you always have to kind of position it without the ridges. You can also get just standard glass ones like this, and these are fairly cheap, so that might be a good option. That's a number 210 Dunlop. And they'll all be different sizes too, depending on what finger, you know, they're designed kind of to go, or what size fingers you have, for instance, and what finger you want to put it on if you were playing regularly. But in this style, you're not, you know, it doesn't matter because you're playing it with the guitar sitting down. Little bit of a weaker sound actually than this big tone bar one. This one just gets a better connection. It's got a lot more mass behind it. You can also get you know, these other styles like with the taper. And again, they're not really designed for this lay down kind of slide playing, but you can get them in brass as well. I like the sound of this slide pretty well. So here's just another one that's got a little cutout. So if you like bending your finger, it makes it a little easier for that. I think that's what that's for, but you get the idea. You can get a lot of different slides if you shop around for them. Probably the best thing to do if you're going to shop around for a slide is go into a music store and ask to see the slides, and get a guitar down and try them out. But I don't know the extent of your injuries, so this may not apply to you. This may be a hopeless case. I really don't know. But for some of you, maybe it's not a hopeless case. Maybe you also have injuries that prevent you from being able to use all your fingers in the way that you want, but you still play some guitar. And what I would suggest is just get an acoustic guitar like this, a cheap acoustic. Right now it's tuned to standard. But what I suggest tuning to is a drop D, an open D. So what you can do is drop your low string to a D. Another popular open tuning is open E, so you could actually tune these other strings up to an E, but I like to drop down to D personally. Now this next string here, the G string, you want that one tuned down a half a step because it needs to be on the third. So that one's going down a half step, your G. And it helps to check it against your actual fretted note as well. And then these two strings will be dropped down a whole step each. you can just kind of riff on things like that. You know, you've got, just pick out your scale, you know, like your major scale. You've got your thirds. You've got your thirds up here, obviously, on this fret. And you also have your minor third. So you know, a little more bluesy if you pick the minor third, or you can go up to that major, and you know, it's still bluesy, still like country blues, but it's just a different feel. But anyway, Brian, you know, I hope that helps you a little bit, man. I hate to see you just completely give up guitar. I hate to see anybody do that. You know, I would prefer just to see you keep your guitar, man, and try to tune it like this. Lay it down in your lap and get used to doing things a different way. Maybe look at the fingerboard a different way. And who knows, man, you might come up with a way of playing that nobody's ever thought about before as a result. You know, I mean, some of the coolest styles of guitar players, you know, seem to always come from places of limitation. You know, we talked about it a little bit earlier in this Shitpost Friday with the way that, you know, my pinkies don't work too well, you know, so I have to kind of do things a little bit differently. I've also talked a lot about in the past the way I have carpal tunnel, so I have to do things that pick a little bit differently, and that's just what makes you you, man. It's what makes your style your style. So who knows, maybe by, you know, tune the guitar to different tunings, and you can look up different tunings too. You don't have to use this tuning, but this might be something to get you started. But you know, try out some different tunings. Try laying the guitar flat down, and if you can hold a slide at all in any form or fashion, you know, maybe try this out. Try approaching the guitar from a different way, and try slide out. Maybe it'll be for you, man. Maybe, who knows, maybe you'll be the next Rye Cooter. So anyway, I hope that helps you, Brian, and best of luck to you, brother. All right, guys, it's time now to open some viewer mail, and I've gotten a couple of letters and things like that. I'll kind of get out of the way first here. This one I thought was kind of cool. This is, okay, yeah, this is Lynn. This is Lynn, okay. You guys may have noticed in the background of some of my videos, this Yomega Fireball. Well, he actually is, he's a patent holder on certain aspects of this yo-yo. And he is a watcher to the channel. So this is what he looks like, and this is him with his first car, he says. What is this thing? This is oh, it's a Borg Ward. Isabella, okay. Cool looking car, Lynn. Well, thanks, Lynn. I appreciate it, man. I hope you had a nice Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all that stuff too, man. Let's see. This is from somebody in Indiana. We'll see what's up with this. Oh, he looks like he sent me money. Cool, man. Wow. Please accept this donation gift of $50 to help keep your YouTube site up and running. Yours is entertaining programming, educational, informative. FBI had no right or reason to visit you. What a waste of time and resources. I agree, man. No doubt about that. I retired from the DOD, so you can consider this a comp for your time, too. Man, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that, dude. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, too. I'm sorry I'm getting to some of these letters a little bit late. You know, things are kind of hectic over the holidays, and I kind of wanted to also build up enough stuff that so I could have a decent viewer mail opening. So So yeah, we can knock out a few things at once. Well, somebody spent like 20 bucks on packaging on this one. That's a USA stamp. I'll be damned. Well, yeah, obviously, because it's USPS. I haven't seen that stamp yet. That's a $5 stamp. Cool stamp. Very cool. Is that Lady Liberty? I guess that's Liberty. Very cool. Interesting thing about Lady Liberty, you know, they stopped putting Lady Liberty on the money around about what, the 30s? About the same time they started, they took all, you know, the gold out of circulation and outlawed gold. You know, they started putting politicians' heads on things, presidents' heads. You know, they had Abraham Lincoln, I guess, was the first around, what, 1905 or something like that with the penny. It's been around a long time. But yeah, you know, and just slowly but surely took Lady Liberty off of all the money. So we're no longer about liberty. We're about worshiping politicians. So we don't look up to liberty anymore. We also once had a dollar in this country called the peace dollar. It was issued after the First World War. We're coming up actually on the 100th anniversary of the peace dollar. And to me, I think that's what made this country great. The country I live in, the United States, it was great for a long time because we tried to stay out of other people's business. We tried to build a country rather than tear other countries down. And I think that's what made us great. You know, we didn't put our soldiers in harm's way needlessly. We treated them with respect. I could go on and on about this subject, and it's because it's something dear to my heart. I love my country and I want to see it do well, but you know, we would do really a lot better if we tried to maintain peace. We tried to honor liberty, and I think we'd be better off if we put Lady Liberty back on the money. So this is phenomenal. Wow. Wow. Okay. Holy crap. So this is a Planet Waves tuner. Man. Holy cow. We've got a bunch of ICs, IC sockets here. There's just all kinds of stuff, man. This is like pedal board builder's paradise. Look at the LEDs. These look like these might be some older LEDs too, man. Like some different colors and stuff. That yellow right there seems like it's a bit old. That red too. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Just look at the components. Who is this from? This is from John Fagan. John Fagan. Wow, John. Man. This whole box is just full of components. Look at this. There's some picks. Oh, I'll add those to my collection. Holy crap. Dude, this is too much, man. Thank you, John. Look, we've got there's some photoresistors in there. We've got some little potentiometers. Wow, dude. Dude, this is like a treasure trove of parts. My God. This is for fret polishing. Look at these. These little fret polishing sticks. Huh. I'll be damned. Wow. We have here some heat shrink. A whole bunch of heat shrink. We've got cloth covered wiring. That's another version of the humidifiers we've been talking about recently because it's winter time. Some angled connectors or angled jacks. That's some good wire right there. That's 14 gauge. What does that say? Marshall Sound Runner. That's some good wire. And that's some shielded wire right there. My gosh, and more cloth wire. Pots. Holy crap, man. Man, this is too much, John. Wow. Gosh, I guess I'm gonna have to build some pedals now. I've got all of these low value resistors I've got to build something with. And I've had other people send me stuff too that's you know, parts buckets and stuff. Let's see what we have here. Mitchell's abrasive cords and tapes. What's this? Abrasive. That's an abrasive cord. I'm not sure what I would use that for. Pots. Just Pot City. Look out, FBI. Look at this. Look at all my bags of pot. Switches. More switches. More jacks. Holy crap. Oh man, this is yeah, some more fret working. Setup more setup tools. Radius gauges here. We've got tips for dispensing glue, super glue. You see those there? Those super glue dispensers. Got a couple of nuts. All kinds of crap, man. Crazy. What's this? Adhesive standoffs. It's for, like, you know, if you're wiring up something inside of an acoustic or whatever. The power jacks here. More cloth wire. Holy crap. Now we got some, you know, those are brand new capacitors, orange drop style capacitors. Some other capacitors in there. We got more, another bag of pot. Knobs. Bunch of knobs. Holy crap, man. This is too much, man. This is like Christmas. We got a bunch of heat shrink. Wow. Is all I can really say. This is just amazing. What could be in this? Semiconductors. Wow, man. Hell, there's more transistors in here. You need a chart for all the transistors that this thing contains. Look at all the transistors. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to start building more pedals. Thank you so much, John. Man, that's amazing. That's a lot of stuff. It's going to take me a little while to even put this stuff away. Thank you, man. I've got another letter here. This is from Great Britain. So let's see what's up with this. Royal Mail. Man, it's just so nice of people to take time out to even send you any kind of letter. I mean, opening fan mail is not something you ever expect that you're going to be able to do in your life. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, I grew up saying, oh, one day I'll be opening fan mail. But essentially that's what I'm doing here, man. It's just really touching that I'm, you know, even doing something like this. To Brad and family, best wishes for a happy Christmas and a peaceful New Year. Martin Reed. Thank you so much, Martin. Man, that means a lot to me. I appreciate that, and I hope you had a Merry Christmas as well. Sorry I'm opening this late, but again, I just was trying to get to a point where I had several things that I could open at once, you know, and so it ended up being after Christmas. So, but thank you. That means a lot to me, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, Martin. I've got one more package for this viewer mail segment. Let's see what we have here. This is from Roy Mays of Bidwell, Ohio. Ah! No, I'm kidding. Oh, okay. I remember this gentleman contacted me, and he said, I almost just said too, I think my wife is making coffee because I smell coffee. But no, Roy contacted me the other day and he said, hey man, I want to send you some coffee. This is a company I work for, and this, you know, so this is what I do, so it means a lot to me. And he wanted to send me some coffee, and that's really awesome, Roy. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I actually have another company who is a sponsor of some of my videos. He actually has paid for a couple of sponsorship spots, and it's just been such a hectic time recently in the run-up to Christmas, especially trying to squeeze everybody in as far as the sponsorships. And so we're going to have a couple videos coming up with his company, Silver Falls Trading Company. But yeah, thank you so much, Roy. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot too, and I'm sure I will enjoy it. So yeah, that's going to do it for viewer mail. You know, I just wanted to say to everybody who takes the time to send me stuff, thank you very much. It really means a lot to me. Like I said, you know, it's just, I never envisioned having the kind of job or life or, you know, or anything like that where I would be opening fan mail or, you know, viewer mail or any of this kind of stuff. And it's always touching to me when I get stuff like this and somebody's taking the time to ship me something, you know, and obviously put some love also into what they've sent. It just means really a lot to me, and I really thank you for that. I also wanted to take a minute to thank some of my channel sponsors. There's a new thing on YouTube. I haven't really been promoting it because generally speaking, they take a bigger cut of whatever you donate to the channel than, say, like a PayPal donation would. But there's some of you guys who have actually joined the channel as members, and I just wanted to read off your names because I appreciate you so much. So yeah, to all you current channel members, Doug Simon, George Fontanopolis, I hope I'm saying that correctly, George. Kitako Fruit Cups, or is that Kitako Fruit Cups? I'm not sure what that is. Funny though. David Brewer, Bobby Womble, John Ian McFarlane, Jason Spacek, Gabriel Sanchez, John McCormick, Matt Fields, SRT Amplification, and Adam Waller. I appreciate every one of you guys. It means a lot to me that you would donate to the channel in that way and help sponsor these videos, and it really does mean a lot. Alright guys, so that'll conclude this edition of Shitpost Friday. Hope you've enjoyed it. Y'all take care.